still send a code 3.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Leslie Wills with the Houston Mounted Patrol, and I am in charge of training the officers and training the horses or mules, as we have right here. This is Mallow. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we train and how we communicate with the animals. Obviously, they can't speak to us. They do in another way, and you're going to see how they talk to each other here. They use body language. Is how they communicate with each other. And that's how we communicate with them, is using body language. If we tried to talk to them and they don't understand our language of English or Spanish or whatever, it would be kind of like if we went to Japan on a plane and got dropped off in the middle of Japan, and obviously I don't speak Japanese, but, and I would not expect the Japanese to think that that they should learn English for me to communicate with them. So I need to learn their language, body language, and to be able to communicate with them. One of the other things you see is, like I said, you see them talking to each other. They can just pin their ears to communicate with each other. They push each other around with pressure that they apply to each other. They do bite and kick, and that's how they communicate with each other. And this is how I try to communicate with them. Also, they have a hierarchy of needs that we try to address here. So number one for an equine is safety. Obviously, they feel pretty safe here. Number two on the hierarchy of needs is comfort. And if they're not comfortable, they're not going to do things. Just like getting inside of a trailer, everybody thinks that a horse or a mule will just hop inside a trailer. Well, that's kind of like a metal cave on wheels. So we have to communicate with them that it's okay to be in there. So we have to provide them safety and comfort. And then the next thing they need, which they're doing right now, is play. And the last on their hierarchy of needs is food. Everybody thinks food would come before play, but actually they're very gregarious animals and they like to play a lot. And sometimes they play a little rough, which you'll probably see here in a little bit, but this is how we communicate with them. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to play with them and show you how we get them to be better partners with us. That's what we really want here. This is Mallow. And you see everybody likes to get in the game here and wants to play. And this is Nacho over here. Come here, Nacho. Come here. Come here. So Nacho is an Andalusian thoroughbred cross. He has a lot of energy. His horsenality is what we like to call naturally he's a right brain extrovert, so he's very has a lot of energy, likes to move his feet, do things, whereas Mallow is more of a left brain introvert. So he likes to think his way through. He doesn't like to move his feet too much. He gets a little upset with me when I ask him to move his feet. And so I have to communicate with him to be able to motivate Mallow. Whereas Nacho, I need to communicate with him where he feels comfort, and he also gets a lot of play. As you can see, he really wants to do things for me. Nacho is 13 now. I've had him he's been my partner for 7 years. Actually for longer, I guess now. 8 years. Mallow is only 4. He came to us unstarted, under saddle, so I've started him under saddle, and he'll be going downtown pretty soon. One of the things we really try to do here is get their confidence up. And how do you think getting their confidence up? A lot of people think pushing things on them, doing that kind of stuff. Really, it's not. It's a lot of retreat. Also, having them be curious. Curiosity builds confidence. A lot of places you'll go to, they really keep the horses restricted. They don't allow them to check things out. Like you can see Nacho over there right now, he's checking out the ropes and stuff. A lot of places don't allow them to do that. We do. We want them to check things out, get confident about it, that's not going to bother them. A horse's natural reaction, because they are prey animals, their first reaction is to run. So we want them to be confident with things so that's not their first reaction. So when I first got Nacho, he had a lot of energy, a lot of negative energy. He was trained, the way he was trained originally was through force, fear, and intimidation. What we like to use here is what we call love, language, and leadership in equal doses. So if you give too much love, you end up spoiling them. If you give too much leadership, then you make them afraid. But understanding their language and applying those in equal doses is how we train the horses out here. And they respond very well. He's my main guy now. Whenever we have protests or anything, then he is very confident to go into the protest with me and work with me, because he knows that I'm not going to put him in a bad situation. And he wants me to lead him and help him out. Whereas Mallow over here is a little different. He kind of has his own opinions about things. So it takes a little more convincing with Mallow than it does with Nacho here. About our sponsorship program, we started about 3 years ago with a sponsorship program. With it, a sponsor, it can be an individual or corporation that sponsors a horse, or with this horse, Smash, we have 5 special needs girls who actually sponsor this horse. They raise the money. It's $5,000 a year to sponsor a horse, and basically that takes care of all of the needs of the horse, between feed, hay, you can see the bedding in the stall, medical, veterinary, and equipment for the horse for 1 year. And then the girls who sponsored Smash here, the reason that they wanted to sponsor Smash is actually deaf. So where I was talking about earlier about communicating and using body language, it's the same for him. It doesn't matter. He understands what I'm asking him because we communicate through body language. Like I said, he's very special to us because not only because he's a great horse, but because of the girls that sponsor him. They come in usually at least once a week or so, and they'll bathe him and take care of him, and they really do have a special relationship. And the sponsorship program really has expanded, not only for us for financial reasons. Obviously, it's kept us going during tough budget times, but also it's really, we've been able to develop so many relationships with different people, and it's really been a great outreach for us and the department.